We've gone through a period of time where we didn't have any money, couldn't hire any deputies. Now we have money, and it's very difficult to get people to come to work. And we're still losing deputies to retirement. To hire a deputy sheriff, it takes about a year to hand them a set of keys and they go to work. So we're we've got a really an aggressive recruitment plan going. We get lateral transfers, which is a deputy or a police officer from another agency can come in very short period of time and go right to work. For 10 years, we didn't get any of those, but we lost over 100 to laterals to other places. That trend is now starting to reverse. We've received 8 in the last 30 days. We're getting them from San Luis Obispo County, LA County, a couple of other counties up north. So we really have an aggressive plan. We also are removing regular deputy sheriffs out of our jail and putting detention deputies back in the jail, which will free up a lot of deputies. We're moving our booking process out to the Laredo facility, which will give us about 5 new deputies free. What I can tell you, if the plan goes as I think it will, I can't promise because this is moving, changes every day, Rosamond should receive between 2 and 4 new deputies before the end of the year. That's on top of what you already have. Rosamond probably is the worst staffed substation that we have if you relate it to the crime that's occurring. I was in Moron today and I was trying to explain to them, they want to know why Rosamond gets more deputies and they don't have any deputies, because Moron doesn't have any deputies. I said, well, it goes like this. Rosamond call for services, there's probably 50 a day, the 24-hour clock. In Moron, there might be 1. And you put the deputies where the biggest problem is. People in Moron had 5 deputies in the 80s that lived there, and now they have no one. So they're experiencing the same thing that you're experiencing here. When I got here tonight, the deputies were, I believe, in tasking handling a call for service because there's not enough deputies to assign to a beat, like stay in Road, stay in Patchby, stay in Mojave. But we're going to get back there. It's going to take us a little bit more time. We have an academy going right now of 25. We have an academy of detention deputies of 25. In November, we're going to start 2 new academies if we get enough employees to fill those positions. So I really think we're on the mend, but it's going to be slow. I realize that you may have called for service and not got it in a timely fashion, may not have gotten it at all. What I encourage you to do is don't stop calling, because what's happening in our country right now is there is a party from I won't say which one, from this side of me, that is saying that crime is down. And the reason they're saying crime is down because look at the property crimes. There's less property crimes. People stopped calling because no one was coming. So when you stop calling, stop making a report, looks like the crime rate's coming down. I can tell you violent crime is not coming down. We all know that violent crime is really unprecedented. In Kern last year, in the city of Bakersfield and the county, I think we had 130 homicides. We have 2 jails that are sitting empty out there. The minimum facility, max speed facility are both empty because there's no staff to run those. That's something we've never ever had before, which means misdemeanors generally are not arrested if you can avoid it. If a Rosamond deputy arrests someone for a misdemeanor, they drive them to Bakersfield, they book them in the jail sites them out the door they go, and back to Rosamond. That's just the truth of what's occurring, and not just in our jail, throughout the country. There's not room. In the Kern County Jail right now, I have 380 people in custody for murder or attempt murder. That's a huge number to deal with. So, and the homeless, when they have the shopping carts, these guys have to inventory everything in that shopping cart. If they arrest them for being under the influence, for possession of any kind of drug, which is also a misdemeanor because we've done that in the state of California. They have to inventory everything they have, take them to Bakersfield, book them in jail, they're released back out, then they have to re-inventory it back to them to give them all their property back. Meanwhile, you don't have anybody in Rosamond because they're busy doing that with a misdemeanor. So I realize that it sounds like an excuse. It's not. It just is what it is. I told somebody earlier today, I live in East Bakersfield, There's not a night that I don't go to sleep where I don't hear gunshots. Every night. And these guys, they've worked East Bakersfield, they can tell you, it's just a way of life. But Bakersfield, Roseman, and Wasco are our three most violent places right now that we're dealing with. And we're gonna staff up Roseman first. My command staff and I have met. Roseman's the #1 priority. And we're thinking four new additional deputies by the end of the year, on top of what you already have. One's going to Boron, which is not a lot, but better than zero. So with that, if you have questions other than that, or about that, I'm here to answer those questions. Yes.
So I just wanted to give you a quick stats. We'll let it calm down for a second. Like 50 check welfare calls, people with mental illness. We had 50 check welfare calls, 46 false alarm calls, and under that was 36 self-initiated calls. So definitely being proactive.
How many is
36, but 50, 46, 36. So that was the bulk of our calls. So, like I was explaining earlier with the false alarm calls, I'm just now working on getting the project done for Roseman, so we can send out letters to all the businesses, all the residents with chronic false alarms that we are no longer responding. I get with dispatch, and they put a note on the call never even comes out to us. So that should free up our deputies to deal with more important issues. Yes, sir.
So when you talk about the false alarm calls for these businesses, are these system activated calls? Is it an actual security system?
Yes. It's a faulty system. We go there's no broken windows, there's no forced entry. We call the alarm company or the responsible party for that premise. Nobody ever shows up, nobody ever answers. No false alarm, there's no evidence of a crime, we're gone. But that takes up a lot of man hours, especially driving all over the county.
I can totally see your point for having a list that you do then.
So I'm getting my crime analysis unit on board. They're gonna start running all the stats for me, and I'm gonna figure out who's the most or the worst violators of that, and we'll deal with it accordingly.
And you're being fair by putting that letter out there to them and letting them know.
Yeah, I mail everybody. I mailed out 15 to several different businesses and some private residences. If they had 3 or more in a 6-month period, which that's not a huge number, but you have 3 or more in a 6-month period of false alarms, we're not going to respond until I get written proof that the alarm system has been fixed. So out of that, out of 523 calls for service, my guys took 90 reports. The top 3 most reoccurring reports were for vehicle and trailer thefts at 11, 10 felony vandalisms, and 4 grand thefts. Those were the top 3 most common reports. And 11 arrests were made. I couldn't pull up the data in time to find out if they were felony, misdemeanor, or what kind of arrest. But 11 arrests were made in Roseman last month.
And that was in the month of July.
Yes. So what I really wanted to talk about was, last meeting I brought it up, the bogus alarms. We gotta get a handle on that. We're wasting a ton of time on those alarm calls for no reason. When I did when I got the data for the ones in Mojave, we had it's still a significant number, 131 calls for service for false alarm, or for alarms in Mojave from June 1st January 1st to June 30th. Out of all those, only one was legitimate. Every other one was false.
Is there a correlation between different companies? Is there a alarm company that goes off more?
There's so many alarm companies out there. I couldn't see any correlation between the company and a false alarm.
From my experience, the alarms that we see a lot is you guys have a lot of high winds out here. If your door is not latched correctly, it's going to break that magnet and show an entry door, right, or a window. If you leave your windows open, things will blow, your motion sensor will pick it up. So that's one thing, and the other item is not changing out batteries on the wireless ones. So they'll start weakening, and it'll show up in the alarm activation.
Our alarm company, when alarm goes off, they call me first. Does all of them do that?
They're all supposed to do that because they're supposed to get your safe word,
When
your
they ask me-
passcode to deactivate the
They ask me if
alarm.
everything's all right.
Yeah. So if they can't get a hold of you, or if there's something wrong, then they send a call to us, and then it's left as that. That's the last communication we'll have with them.
Now, Sarge, with let's get 4 extra deputies out here. I hear a lot of people say, I'm not going to bother calling it in. You know, the more, like you said, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Does that help us get more deputies? The more
Absolutely. If we can show that Roseman is crazy busy, we get more guys. Like Deputy Britton. He just got hired from LA County to start with us, what, a week and a half ago? We're getting a lot of it's a slow process, but Roseman, like Sheriff Youngblood said, is top priority right now. We are hurting bad out here. I mean, like you said, we feel the pressure. We do. We feel horrible that sometimes we're coming from Boron to get here to handle a call, and vice versa. This whole East Kern is suffering right now.
we appreciate what you guys do for us.
We try. We try.
Thank you, sir.
Last moment. Tonight I actually do have some stats with me that I can share with you guys. So just like the Sheriff's Department, we're grossly understaffed, right? I don't know how many deputies they have for 10-8 right now. Right now for Eastern Kern, I have myself and 3 officers. That's what I have out there right now. And we're in the same boat as every other agency throughout the state, right? Hiring people is difficult, getting them on the streets is difficult, and then get them allocated to our area, even more difficult, right? So we're doing the best we can, and I would encourage the same thing, it's just patience, right? If you have a call and you need us, we're coming. It may take us a little while to get there, okay? But we will be coming. So on that note, these are our stats from the month of June. Our stuff runs a little behind just compiling the data. But in the month of June, we had 1,233 enforcement contacts here in Eastern Kern.
Sorry. In East Kern?
In East Kern.
Can you come a little bit closer? I'm hard to hear. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So yes, these stats are for our Mojave area, which is the Eastern Kern area. We encompass everything essentially detached in Eastern Kern County. Again, that's 1,233 enforcement contacts in the month of June. 35 arrests in the month of June. 20 of those were DUI. Year to date, so January 1 to June 30, we had over 200 DUI arrests in Eastern Kern alone, which is 40 more than we had during that same period last year. So they're going up. I mean, we're doing what we can to prevent that, but you know, I can't tell people to not drink and drive and expect them to do it all the time. So. Let's see. We took 57 crashes here in Eastern Kern in the month of June, which actually was down from the previous year, which at the same time we took 73. So our statistics are going in the right direction. It's just a slow process. Of those 50 plus crashes, 17 of them were fatal crashes. So that, unfortunately, is something that's why we make all those contacts, right? That's what we're looking to reduce, the number of fatal collisions. So again, we had 40 more DUI arrests than last year, and that is the recommendations the fatal incidents go down, right? That's our priority. If people not
I'm sorry, you said that's just Tehachapi to Roseman?
Tehachapi, Mojave, Roseman, Boron.
And there was 17 in the month of June? Or
To this point this year.
Oh,
year to date.
okay.
Year to date.
I have a question. Can you tell us what area of Rosemont that highway patrol covers?
Well, the highway patrol will cover anything that is, if there's a crash or DUI related incident in anywhere in Rosemont. Because
Anywhere down
it's
the
unincorporated. So we control the freeways, we control all the city streets or town streets.
Okay, so, and like Kern County, as the state, it's important if we want more officers to take calls of crisis calls and contact you.
I wish it worked that way.
That's what I meant.
We don't have the same authority they do to allocate within the county, right? So our allocations come from Sacramento. the more calls we get, yes, that shows there's a greater need. The problem with that is these days there's a greater need in every town throughout the state. And as much as I would love to say yes, that's going to get us more officers out here, I don't have the light.
Should we have more crashes with illegal officers?
I sure hope that we don't want that. Yes, ma'am.
I'm with this group today. If you didn't already figure it out, the Rosemont swimming pool is open. It is free to use. It is open 11 to 5 on Saturdays and Sundays until the end of September. A lot of questions have come at me, why is it only open on the weekends? Well, we have requirements through the Red Cross regarding lifeguards. And we have 8 lifeguards that operate the Rosemont Community Swimming Pool. They are allowed to be on duty for a certain number of hours, and then they're required to have a break. They have to be alert, right? They're watching people swim. It's a very stressful situation. The other reason is they went back to school. So our lifeguards are going to school during the week. So again, it's free to use, and we did have our first brown alarm in the little pool. The staff got right on it. Go ahead, sir.
Did you take it off the taxes of the people that live in West Park?
I will get to that. But no, we did not. That money is sitting stationary in a side account.
So it's not free? It's not free. The people in West Park are paying for it?
Yes, sir. You're putting into a maintenance account, and that maintenance account is sitting there. It was not used for the renovations, and it's not being used for this year's operation. So they swiftly got in there, the staff did, they were able to clean it and have it operational in about 2 hours. So they got in there really fast. But I will tell you, if you have a child that is of that age group that utilizes the small kiddie pool, the lifeguards are now going to ask you to please make sure that they have a swim diaper or something on to prevent this from happening. We average about 125 to 150 users per day. It's been a huge success, so we're very proud of this. The skate park, the design has been finalized, it's gone out, we're collecting contractor bids. It's estimated that in January you will start to see construction, and it should be open by July or August of next year. So we're really excited about that. And then the last little piece I had for Rosemont, I really wanted to try to make it fast today. Joel, are you going to update the Glendower?
Yeah.
Okay, so unless there's questions, I'm done.
Did you want to update it at the chamber?
Do you want me to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. I have been working on a project for many months, probably almost a year. I am now at liberty to share with the community that Adventist Health Tehachapi Valley has entered into letters of intent. They do intend to provide medical services, a clinic to the community of Rosemont. Oh. It took a long time. It took a long time. But they have now allowed me to come out and say they are definitely committed to opening a facility in Rosemont. I cannot disclose the location because they're in a couple of different real estate and lease negotiations that we don't want to, disrupt. But they do have an intent to open a clinic here in Rosemont.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got a question.
Enrollments that I believe Southern Current has ever had. We have over 3,720-ish students this year in 6 schools. The high school enrollment is currently at about 930. West Park is pushing 1,000 students. So we are very busy. We have about 462 employees in the district currently. I just wanted to remind everyone that Southern Current, along with Rmac and the Chamber, will be hosting the Antelope Valley Vietnam War Memorial, November 7th through the 12th. And I hope our sheriffs will help escort that wall up Sierra Highway. It will not be coming up the 14th, it will be coming up Sierra Highway. So we want to invite all of our local sheriffs to perhaps be part of that, arrival here in Southern Current. It's expected to arrive here in Rosemont at about 9:30 in the morning. It will then be, assembled, and our goal is to open up at about 2:30 or 3 o'clock that afternoon. We're going to let the students of West Park Elementary, will be located right beside West Park, actually leave campus that day, and then we will open the wall for 24 hours a day until about 3 o'clock on November 12th. We need desperately lots and lots of volunteers. Usually the volunteer shift is about 2 hours long. So if you think this is something you would like to do, the only mandate to be a volunteer is that you have to be 18 years or older, plus you have to attend a mandated training, and we'll probably host at least one, maybe 2 trainings, for sure one, possibly 2, in the multi-purpose room at Rosemont Elementary. So if you would like to volunteer and you think this is something you can volunteer more than once, we'd love to have you as many times as you would like. I'm just going to close by letting everybody know that currently in Southern Current Unified we have 4 construction projects going. We have a construction project at Tropico, a big construction project. We're adding 28 classrooms to Tropico Middle School, 7 new buildings, a new track. We're dropping 5 new portables at West Park because the numbers are crazy over there. We're waiting for DSA approval to modernize the old Rosemont Elementary School beside the new campus. We're planning to do that. And we're starting maybe in a week or so. Everything is in place. A beautiful, and I can't believe it's like my project. I'm dying to see beautiful new cafeteria at Rosemont High School. And if ever there was a project that needs to be, that we need to complete here, it's a new cafeteria on that campus. So it's going to be beautiful. And so you're going to see a lot of dirt flying. You'll know what's going on. Anybody have questions?
The state is really good. Rainfall has been good. Snowpack has been very high. The one concern that the state had for a while was if it was going to melt too fast and cause a lot of flooding. That scare has apparently gone away. Locally, in our watershed, we're about 176% of average rainfall for the water year, which starts in October and ends in September. I thought there was an interesting statistic on the same place. As far as temperatures, our average temperature for the water year, if you will, so far is typically is a historical average is 79.93 degrees, and our daily mean for the water year again has been 78.19, so it's actually been slightly less. If you haven't seen the news lately, Hurricane Hillary has been making the news. In fact, it's been on the local TV stations and everything like that. It's down near Mexico. They're talking, and there's already been posted some area flood watches for this area. Mostly Sunday night to Monday morning. They're talking in our high desert area 3 to 4 inches of rain, so be careful out there, really. For those of you that are just kind of mildly interested maybe, but the Colorado River, we've been hearing a lot about over the last several years about them cutting way back. Doesn't normally affect us. It affects more the Southern California, but things that start affecting further south and start backing up and affecting us. Because of all the rainfall we've had, they're basically back up to about what they normally put out as far as allocations to the various states. There is some allocations down for like the state of Arizona and so on. California is not really affected. And one other thing I thought was a point of interest, you may have been hearing about this. There's been talk in the last several years about putting solar panels possibly over a lot of the aqueduct, a lot of the water distribution areas and so on. And it's actually kind of a neat idea in that it would help evaporation or lessen evaporation, and it would create more solar energy. One of the things that, the negative aspects, if you will, of it is, of course, all the water distribution was designed and put in place for many, many years, actually centuries, long before the considerations as far as power. So there's not necessarily power distribution near some of these aqueducts and so on. But there is a program that's going on. We've got, by the way, about 4,000 miles of canals and aqueducts in the state, and they say we can save up to 63 billion gallons of water annually. I didn't convert that to feet, but it's a lot. But the state is actually, along with UC Merced and a couple of other organizations, the California Department of Water Resources, they're doing a 2 canal sections they're going to span, and they apparently will do this with some kind of a suspension operation and so on. They're going to, about 1.6 miles in the state of California, that they're going to try this out and see. So hopefully more will come out.
Thank you very much.
Question?